It's not it's not a coincidence that Big Stop, the closing of Big Stop and convenience stores were a big part of my term, because when even before I decided or was asked to run, the Big Stop was a big topic on our agenda when we invited the mayor, the county commissioner, the chief of police, and everybody to meet us at the lower downstairs in the church,
Jordan New Life,
Jordan New Life,
yeah,
to talk about the drug dealing and the problems that we were living with, which were intolerable. And the mayor was very moved, and in fact, he sent his driver to me to ask if there's anything he can do. Then if I think he can do, then he should let me know. I should let him know anything he thinks in the future that I would like him to do. I guess I was part of the presentation that night, and he felt that there was something there. Of course, I was very cynical and said to the guy, "That's what we're doing tonight. We're telling him what we want him to do. Why do you need me to call him later?" You know, so anyway, that was a very powerful thing, and as a result of that, there was a raid on the house 2 weeks later or so. That was one of the major problems. And during the raid, a young kid was shot in the arm by a piece of shrapnel from a bullet. And of course, the word spread through the neighborhood that a kid had been killed by the police, and of course, because of Big Stop and the flight of homeowners around Big Stop and the influx of investors and renters who had the capacity to deal with crime at close range, which are usually criminals themselves, then that whole area was kind of criminalized. And so when that incident happened right there, then that whole community came out and attacked the police and so on. So I made a statement subsequent to that, because the press was presenting it as the community came out. And I said, I don't know that community. My community and I meet all the time, and we don't see those people who attack police and burn things. And so then the press started to kind of look at me a little bit, and I was asked by this community to be the spokesperson for Jordan. And so then the press really started to ask me questions. Anyway, subsequently to that was when I was asked to run. And by that time now my name had been in the paper a few times. And so things kind of worked that way. And in fact, a year before we ran, the Star Tribune printed an article on our house, because we were on the home tour and they did a special Sunday section. So, you know, destiny has a way of paving the path. And but the Big Stop then became very symbolic of crime festering around a really inner sore of convenience store dynamics. And so we ended up closing, I think, 16 convenience stores in the city.
wow, excellent,
Yeah.
bravo.
And the top 8 convenience stores in their last year of operation had 2,500 911 calls, and after the closings, they had 30 calls combined over the next year. Yeah. So when people say, why is crime down? You know, some people attribute it to just good policing or just this. It's a lot of different things like this. Combined with policing, combined with, and then crime is down 40% over the last 4 years, violent crime.
That's awesome.
40%. That is an amazing thing. And homicides in the 5th Ward is down 80%.
Wow.
That is just shocking. And we're continuing to do the things that we're doing. And this is not a blip. This is not an accident. This is not a freak of circumstances. It happened in the greatest downturn in the economy since the Great Depression. Okay? And not only is crime going down and order being restored, not only is the lawns of foreclosed homes being mowed and the yards maintained, which is another factor. But development is coming. Okay, from the leases on Broadway, the groundbreaking just the other day when Al Flores became possessed by devils. on down to
It's not a temporary thing. Nor recent.
on down to the Capri, which had $600,000 fix up of the high-tech marquee, the high-tech lighting, the high-tech sound. And then you go down further to the YMCA, which has the, anybody been in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Wii technology. You know, you're riding the bike, exercise bike, and there's a screen and you're racing against people. Or you're doing kickboxing and you're fighting a guy on the screen. Everything you're doing on the screen.
I want to adult one.
Oh yeah. And so it's an incredible thing, beautiful, cool, grand space, and just our young people are being now given the best of quality. And then the bricks on the YMCA were taken out and glass put in. So it's not a bunker anymore against a violent and crazed society. It's an open place where children move in and out, and we see in and out. You know, and even the architecture is changing. And then you come down a little further, and you see 1200 West Broadway. That used to be a funeral home. And then a daycare center that was closed when Polenti took away the supports for moms. And so it was empty and degrading and full of mold. And now it's a home to a 150-seat banquet hall that's about to be finished. And a commercial kitchen where caterers from the north side can go and cook their food and sell to the community. And you can have your weddings and your graduation parties and so on. And then you go up a little further and you see where we're going to widen West Broadway's sidewalk by 30 feet to have farmers markets and all kinds of sculpture and a nice place for the community, all the way from Fremont, is that Fremont? All the way up to Burger King. Okay? And that will lead right into the new Y, which is going to be the largest Y in the country with a heated running track.
Wait,